Welcome to DOJ Online Services Guardian Fund Online Deposit Application Demonstration. In this video you will learn how to easily complete and submit a Guardian Fund online deposit application to the Department of Justice's back office for processing. To access the DOJ Online Services platform, you need to be a registered user with valid and verified credentials. If you have not yet registered, simply click on Register as a new user and capture the relevant information, and follow the prompts to verify all your captured information. For the purposes of this video, we have already registered. To log in, simply capture your email address or username that you registered with, as well as your password to log in to the DOJ Online Services platform. Simply click on the Login button, and you will be redirected to the landing page. On the landing page you will have a view of all the services that you can complete an application for. The profile speaks to who you are going to be transacting as when you are making an application. If in your personal capacity, you will use your individual user profile. If you are transacting as a legal representative, you will use the service provider profile that you have created or been invited to. If you are transacting as an entity, you will use the entity profile you have created or been invited to. For this demonstration, we will be transacting as an entity. To change your profile, you can simply click on the checkbox for the entity, to switch your profile to the entity role. You will be prompted with a confirmation about switching your profile. Click on the Yes button to proceed with the switching of profile. Once the profile has been switched to your entity profile, a confirmation message will be displayed indicating that your request to switch to entity profile has been successfully processed. Simply click on Continue to start transacting as an entity. To complete or register a depositor for the Guardian Fund, simply expand the Masters of the High Court Services menu item and select Guardian Fund, then click on Register Depositor. You will be redirected to your Guardian Fund online registered depositors history page, where you have a view of all the cases that have previously been submitted or completed using the profile that you are transacting on. Registering a depositor provides the ability to capture your master data information for it to be transferred to the Department of Justice back office system screening and the necessary information to be created and ultimately to send back the deposit reference numbers to the online portal. This saves the depositor going to the different profit centers to obtain the DRN to make a deposit. To register a depositor, simply click on the hyperlink Register a Depositor. A confirmation notification will be displayed as a reminder of which profile you are transacting on, indicating that you are transacting on your entity profile, and are you sure you want to continue? Simply click on Yes to proceed. An alert in the form of an information note will be displayed with important information of the different requirements that are associated with the registration of a deposit case. Kindly read through the information and click on Continue to proceed. An additional alert information will be displayed for you to take note that an incomplete application will not be submitted for processing. Also, to please ensure all the mandatory information and documents are included to speed up the application process. To cancel the registration, simply click on Cancel, or to proceed, simply click on Continue. The Register a Depositor application process then gives you a wizard view broken down into different sections of the application that is required for submission. For the purpose of this demonstration, we have captured the information under each tab and will highlight important information as we navigate through the application. You will notice where there is a red asterisk, indicating that the field completion/selection is mandatory. This applies throughout the application. The Depositor Information tab represents your master data details. From a depositor perspective, you need to indicate the source of funds for this Guardian Fund. You will also notice that the grayed out information pending on the profile that you are transacting on, has been auto-populated for your convenience based on the profile information. You would need to indicate your nationality, and your preferred method of communication. Based on your selection, this is where the correspondence will go to on updates relating to the case. You will also notice that the individual profile's contact and address information has been auto-populated. You then have the bank information, which is not mandatory. However, if you have the information, simply capture accordingly. Kindly note, you have the flexibility of saving your information and come back to edit at a later stage. Alternatively, the system will auto-save your information that has been captured per section upon click on Next. To continue, simply click on Next to proceed. It is important to note, the system is integrated with various third-party systems to verify certain information. First one is the Department of Home Affairs to verify your RSA identification number against the first names and surnames. If it is not valid, the system will indicate accordingly. If it is valid, then the system will allow you to proceed and you will be navigated to the originator information section. Another third-party integration is a verification against CIPC, so we have selected Organization, under the originator type. Under the organization type you have the ability to select company, or government department, or local authority, or trust. For the purposes of this demonstration, we have selected company. The organization registration number and organization name is verified accordingly. Based on the preferred method of communication, the system will prompt you to add and capture the associated contact type. You also have the option of capturing an address type. Once you are happy with the information captured against the originator, simply click on Next to proceed to the Beneficiaries Information section. Click on Add Beneficiary to commence capturing the beneficiary information. The identification type is to be captured with a valid ID number, full name, and surname. You will notice the system auto-populates the date of birth from the ID number captured, and indicate life status of the beneficiary. Next, you will need to indicate the beneficiary subcategory, which will trigger whether the guardian information will be invoked. For the purpose of the demonstration we are going to choose ward of court, then you will be requested to indicate if the guardian is known. An allocation amount is then required with indication of preferred method of communication, which will prompt the associated contact to be added. To add an address, simply click on Add Address, of which the residential address is mandatory. This is important, as this is where from the jurisdiction entered, the profit center is identified where the case needs to be created in. A second beneficiary has been added, where the appropriate information has been captured. However, in this scenario, the beneficiary category chosen is absent person. In this case the system will not prompt you to add a guardian, and you will notice that the question relating to "Is the guardian known?" is grayed out. To add a guardian to the first beneficiary where required, simply click on the blue icon that says Add Guardian. Capture the relevant information, which is similar process to capturing of the beneficiary information. The system allows for multiple beneficiaries for one submission, by clicking on Add Beneficiary again to add as many beneficiaries as required. What the system will automatically do, based on the residential address location, the system will identify how it can split the different cases that needs to be associated with specific profit centers. So, for example, if the added beneficiary's residential address is in Gauteng, then the system knows that the Pretoria Master's Office deals with the cases for Gauteng. The system will automatically then create the two cases with the different master data that is created for the depositor, originator, beneficiary, and guardian. Once you are happy with the beneficiary information, simply click on Next to be navigated to the Allocation Details section. You will notice that the allocation of deposit amount is grayed out and the total will be auto-populated from the beneficiaries added. The allocation details grid is populated with the beneficiaries that are added with the system-generated allocation % reflected in the grid. To edit any information, simply click on the green edit icon, and you can adjust the allocation amount if required. Once you are happy with the allocation details, simply click on Next to proceed and be navigated to the questionnaire section. The questionnaire section is just a guide to assist the user by answering the relevant questions. The system will indicate what supporting documents are required to be updated/attached to the case submission. Wherever you see the orange information icon, simply hover over this to obtain additional information pertaining to the subject matter. All the questions will need to be answered. Upon completion, simply click on Next to proceed to the Supporting Documents tab. An alert notification will be displayed indicating all the required documentation based on the information that you have captured on the deposit application. Simply click on the Continue button to proceed. The Supporting Documents tab provides the facility for you to download, print, sign and upload supporting documents that must be accompanied with your deposit application for successful processing. based on the information captured. To add the required documents, simply click on Add Document. The Choose File button will open your File Explorer on your computer or laptop where you can select where those files reside that you've downloaded or stored. The solution also provides you with the ability to select multiple documents/files residing in a specific location by left-clicking and holding the Control button to select multiple documents. Once you've selected all of them, you click on OK. All these documents will be added to the grid where you then need to select the category of the document type. Simply click on Add to add your documents. Once you are happy with all the documents that you have added, to check which documents are still outstanding, you can simply click on Submit button for a prompt of the outstanding required documents still to be added. In this case we have already added all the required documents, and now we can click on Submit to submit our application. On submission, you are prompted with a confirmation notification, prompting you if you would like to continue with the submission of your application. Simply select Yes to continue. You are then redirected to the Registered Depositors landing page where the case information is displayed in the Registered Applications grid with a status. You will then, next to each submission, be able to preview the information, and view Deposit Case Summary. Upon clicking on the View Deposit Case Summary, you will see your case reference number, and the master's office that the case has been routed to. Then by clicking on the preview icon under Manage on the grid, their deposit case details can be viewed. The system in the background creates the deposit case, creates the business partners, then associates the business partners to the information that is captured. Upon the successful screening process, the DRN number will be displayed for the user to reference on their deposit made at their chosen bank. You can easily look for updates on your case by simply clicking on the hyperlink of the deposit case reference where you will get a view of the history of the application and where it is within the application process. That brings us to the end of this Register Depositor for Guardian Fund application. In this demonstration you have learned how to complete and submit a register deposit application as an entity and submit the application to the back office for screening. Obtain your response back from the backend office and receive the DRN number to reference when making a bank deposit. In addition, you are also able to check on the status of the case.